Good evening, and pull your chair a little closer to the fire. Tonight on Campfire Stories, I've got a real one for you. An honest-to-goodness Ontario legend from way down by Niagara. They call it the Screaming Tunnel, and it sits out in the fields near Thorold, not far from the falls. This one is fiction mostly, but folks down there swear every word of it is true.
Mostly fiction. My favorite kind of true story.
Now picture an old limestone railway tunnel, low and narrow, cut straight through a rise of farmland. It's better than 100 years old, damp stone, water dripping down the walls even in summer. The train stopped running through it a long, long time ago, so now it's just a black mouth in the hillside that nobody has any good reason to walk into.
And yet people do. On purpose. At night.
They do, Carol. They surely do, because of the story that goes with it. The way the old-timers tell it, there was a farmhouse that once stood right up on that rise above the tunnel, and one night that farmhouse caught fire.
Here we go.
I'll keep it gentle, don't you fret. They say a young girl was in that house when the flames took hold, and in her fear she ran down off the rise and straight into the cold dark of that tunnel, looking for someplace safe to hide. She went in, and the story says she never came back out.
Never came out. Of a tunnel that has two ends.
That's the part that gets under your skin, isn't it? Two open ends, and yet she was gone. And ever since that night, folks say a piece of her stayed behind in there, waiting in the dark for someone to come and find her.
So, somebody made that up in a parking lot, and now here we are.
Maybe so. But here's the test, and every teenager in the Niagara Peninsula knows it by heart. You're to walk in alone, right, to the very middle of the tunnel at the stroke of midnight. And once you're standing there in the pitch black, you strike a single wooden match.
A match? That's the whole ritual. I was expecting chanting.
No chanting. Just the one small flame cupped in your hand in a place with no wind and no draft, deep under that hill. And the legend says the very instant that match flares up and lights your face, something you cannot see will lean in close and blow it out. And in the same breath, the flame dies. You'll hear it, faint and far off, but right there at your ear, the sound of a girl screaming.
Marty, it's a 100-year-old tunnel.
It's drafty.
Everything's drafty when you want it to be.
That's the sensible thing to say, and I love you for it. So let me tell you about a fella I know who said the very same thing you just did. He drove down there with two buddies 20 years back, laughing the whole way, matches in his pocket, certain he'd prove the whole thing was nonsense.
Good. A skeptic? My people.
He leaves the other two at the mouth of the tunnel and walks in alone, counting his steps right to the middle. 13 after midnight by his watch, cold as a cellar in there, and dead still, not a breath of air moving. And he takes out one match, and he strikes it.
And it's drafty and it goes out.
Say it's drafty.
It flared up bright, he told me, lit the wet stone all around him, and for one single second everything was fine. And then the flame bent flat sideways, like something had put its lips right up against it. And it went out. And in that dark, before he could even breathe, he heard a girl scream, so close it was like she stood at his shoulder.
Okay. That one landed. I'll admit that one landed.
He ran the whole length of that tunnel in the pitch black and never once went back. To this day, he keeps a single burnt match in his wallet, and he won't tell you why. So there it is, Carol. Midnight, the middle of the tunnel, one match. If you're ever brave enough, you strike it in the dark and you wait. Good night, folks. Sleep warm.
I'll wait right here by the fire, thank you, where the drafts are friendly and the matches stay lit. And if you ever do light that match, Marty, do me a favor. Don't turn around. Good night.